Water, Earth, Fire, Air, Toad. Hi, this is Toad, welcome. And today we're playing Otters. We're going back to Bloomburrow, baby. Got some nice additional cards to the Otter deck. A lot of people were playing Is It Otters. This is pretty much mono blue Otters with like this guy and just a little bit of green for the Elusive Otter, just so you get more value out of the card. You could obviously just replace this with just a regular counter spell that's blue and go basic lands, and maybe it's better, I don't know, but I really wanted to get value out of the Groove's Bounty, where you could pay X and a green and distribute X+1/+1 counters to creatures. I feel like it's really helpful for the deck. And then we're just doing the Stormchaser's talent, where it makes an Otter. We got Kitsa's an Otter that can copy sorceries in an instance, which is never going to happen because its power needs to be 3 or greater, but it's just a way that we can loot, we can draw and discard, and then it has vigilance and prowess, so it's also, you know, a nice little Otter. And then the build around card is kind of the Valley Floodcaller. I saw someone playing, and they were using the Boomerang Basics, this sorcery speed lesson at instant speed, and it looks really sweet because the Valley Floodcaller says whenever you cast, or you can cast non-creature spells, so they had flash, and then whenever you cast a non-creature spell, a bird, frog, otter, rat, gets +1/+1 and untaps. So it's a way for us to cast non-creature spells at flash speed, so instant speed, and that includes the Stormchaser's talent, so we can pick up the Stormchaser's talent with the Boomerang Basics and recast it all on the same, attack phase. We're on the opponent's turn, on their end step. Sure, we don't get the prowess triggers, but, we make a bigger board. And the reason why we made this deck is, Boomerang Basics is one part, and then the other part is the Otter-Penguin, a 1 and a blue for a 2/1. It's an otter bird. So when you draw your second card, it gets +1/+2 until end of turn. It can't be blocked this turn, so it becomes a 3/3 unblockable. So all you have to do is draw a card, and it's a 3/3 unblockable. And then if you have like something like the Valley Floodcaller that's pumping up stuff, then it gets to be 4/4, 5/5, whatever, and unblockable. So that's kind of why I went into this deck. A few other cards that are pretty good. We have Enter the Enigma for card draw, where target creature can't be blocked this turn, and you get to draw a card. So we do have the invasion with like the Elusive Otter can't be blocked by creatures that have power less than this creature's power, and then this one's unblockable. So having some unblockability for our other Otters, like these tokens and stuff, is helpful, and it also draws a card to make our penguins unblockable. Deduce makes a clue token because it investigates, and it's an instant speed, so it draws a card, so we can make it unblockable, and then we can use the clue token later on. The clue token is also good for a waterbending scroll. I did have the surveil lands in, but I feel like the speed land, so that's why we're going with the breeding pools. These are also islands, so this is draw a card. This costs 1 less for each island you control, so if you have 6 islands, it's free. If you have less than that, it costs more. I don't know if it's good in this deck, but I wanted to try out a little bit extra card draw, and it doesn't cost you a card to draw with it. We also have the land from Last Airbender, or Last Avatar Airbender, blah blah. So we could pay 3, and so basically 4 mana to draw and discard, and that's a repetitive way to get our penguins unblockable. We also have Pearl of Wisdom, which is 2 mana. And so we're not doing the lessons thing. I tried the lesson card, right? What was it? Accumulate Wisdom? Right? I tried that with other lessons. And I tried it with the red lessons as well, with the abandoned attachments, like we did in the Is It Spellslinger lessons deck. And we had Eloquentia in there as our counterspell. And I slowly moved away from that because it wasn't good. Octopus form and that. So the Pearl of Wisdom is better because it draws you a card. The Accumulate Wisdom doesn't draw you a card, so it doesn't trigger unless you get the cards in there. This can draw you 2 cards pretty quickly because Stormchaser talent makes an Otter, so on turn 2 you could draw 2 cards. And if you have the Floodcaller out, now it's an instant speed, draw 2 cards for 2 mana, so it just is a lot better, synergizes more with the deck. We have a ton of Otters in the deck. Almost everything's an Otter besides these cards. I think that's all the card draw. And Boomerang Basics is a card draw if you target your own permanent. And then we have Crashing Wave, which is a pretty sweet spell. So, you know, we want the Floodcaller to be out so we can cast it at instant speed, but and we also want the Floodcaller out so that we can Waterbend with it, because we Waterbend X, and then we tap X target creatures, and then distribute 3 stun counters among the tapped creatures. So if we cast this, and we use our creatures for Waterbending, and we have a Floodcaller out, now all those creatures untap, pretty much tap all their creatures down, and then we attack in, probably hopefully kill them. That's kind of the idea. We're playing 1 Sokka. It's a human warrior ally, so not an Otter. 1 and 2 blue, because we don't have any white. For 2/4, a vigilance, and when Sokka attacks, at least one other creature attacks with it, then you draw a card. So we attack with Sokka, we attack with Otter, and now the Penguin Otter, and then we draw a card, and now the Penguin Otter is unblockable. Could work with any other thing, or maybe we draw like a sweet instant spell that we can, you know, cast at instant speed thanks to the Floodcaller, blah blah blah. 1 Messenger Hawk, it's 2 and a blue for 2/1, and when you draw your second card, it gets +2/+0, so it becomes a 3/2 flyer. And when it comes in, you create a clue token. So we have another clue token that we eat later on, make our Otter-Penguins unblockable. 1 Wan Shi Tong Librarian. Now you could say you could have, you know, 2 Librarians instead of this one, but for 3 mana you get a 1/1. For 3 mana you get possibly a 3/2, so it's just a little bit better on rate. Sure, you draw a card, and this is better later game, but we're only playing 20 lands, so it's pretty tight. 1 Ice Magic just to return creatures to their hand, or you could pay 4 mana to put it on top of their bottom of their library, or you could pay, never paying 6. 1 Water Wings to protect our creatures, give them hexproof, and we can also pump up, you know, this Otter will become a 5/5 Otter, right? 4 +1 for prowess, 5/5. 2 Repulsive Mutations as counter spells and pump spells, and the lands. Let's get into some games, see how this Otter domination works.
Otter.
So we got 3 lands, more than enough to cast everything. We got the Otter, we got the Boomerang Basics to pick up the Otter. We could attack in for 2 damage, 3 damage on their turn. We could lead with the tap land, but I think we'll go with this land. We'll go with an Otter. Stormchaser talent we can also pay for to level it up to get Boomerang Basics back from the graveyard and repeat. So as long as we have enough stuff going on. And see, we could Pearl of Wisdom here, but I think I'm going to Boomerang Basics the talent. Since they can, I guess they can cast lesson spells, but 2 Otters looks pretty good. Don't really have any removal. We could Pearl of Wisdom. Might even just play an island. No creatures. Pretty crazy. I think we're gonna. This only. Oh, okay. So you got nothing to do. That's pretty crazy. Flash speed? That's great. I think they might just flash in those 2 1/1s. The reinforcements have arrived, so it makes 2 1/1s. They're gonna double block an Otter. What? What? This is sorcerer speed. Oh, crap. Okay. My bad. I did not know that was sorcery speed. Alright, good to know. Okay. You still can't just cast spells, right? 1, 2? I think we want to get this Otter down. Do we want to do damage to them? Nah, we want to kill their little guy. Oh my god, I'm getting beat by my own plays. Oh, man. Okay. You got me twice. With your no creature lands. Alright. Pretty good for your crap mana base that you can only cast allies with. I think we're just gonna do this. 1, 2. I don't know if we're supposed to do that. We could untap. Alright. We have 2 cards left in their hand. I wish we had more spells to cast. Okay. Just put it here, it doesn't really matter. Huh. Alright. We want the hexproof? Seems pretty good, right? I don't know what they're gonna do. You're gonna block that. Okay. That's quite surprising. Oh, I can enter tapped. Maybe I'm supposed to put it out untapped to scare them, but I mean, what else do they have in their hand, you know? One other permanent leaves the battlefield during your turn, create an ally. No box. I don't think so. Okay, we'll just tack in here. Pearl of Wisdom here. Draw some cards. Nine. 13. Let's put this down. And turn. We're at 12. They're pretty much dead, I think. Creatures you control get indestructible. Seems pretty good. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. 8, 9, 10, 11, right? Right? No blocks? No cards in your hand? I can do math, right? Can you do math? I can do math. I mean, just die? Good game. Okay. I don't need to push it on. 2, 3, 4, 5 extra damage. 6, 7, 8, 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we have like a shit ton. I think we have like 20 damage right here. You gonna sacrifice him? I don't. Is there a way that you can gain life? I think they just left. Can I discard right now? Can I get this back so I could do like a massive... Hakoda! You may look at the top card at any time. You may cast allies from the top of your library. Whenever an ally put a +1 counter on this creature. When this enters, put a +1 on each other ally. This one gives +1 to allies. When another permanent you control leaves, you make an ally. This one, allies, enters, you gain a life. It's the second time you draw a card. And this one taps. And this one has prowess, which is useless in this deck. Because you don't have any spells. I wish I could have priority back so I could cast this. I didn't know you were going to be a dick and rope. You're playing allies, bro. Playing otters. I could have put you to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 15 more down. Otter. Talent into Floodcaller, I guess. Want to take some damage for the Floodcaller? Probably. We could just breeding pool actually this turn. Blue-white control. You got another one? As long as you don't get lands, that's all I care about. We need another land though. This draws 2 cards, this draws 1 and investigates. You keep spending that. Counterspell? I'm trying to hit a land. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11, 12? Sure, why not? I think I got a sweeper next turn. Wish I had another land. We'll go with this guy. Maybe we're supposed to go with the penguin, but because they could block with their land. Two flash creatures is great. 2 are stuck on lands, but Deduce? We'll just wait. 2 cards left in their hand. Okay. 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 Good game. You put out an Elspeth that made a bunch of 1/1s. We have an Otter out that can't be blocked by creatures less than its power. I cast a Deduce. I get power 2. You die. Okay. Otter. I go first? Hells yeah. Stormchaser's talent. Into Pearl of Wisdom, I think. Because we're looking for that green mana. I really want to get the mana out, but they play a Parlor, Surveil 1, red, white land. They kept on top. I think we're Pearl of Wisdom here. We're looking for more stuff. Counterspell's good, but we can't cast it. Surprisingly. Might just... Alright. I think I'm gonna Pearl again. Oh, they have a Lightning. Helix. Oh, they have a Get Lost. Did I still draw the card? No. Fizzled it. Pretty good use of a spell. Get Lost on my talent. Now what? Yo, you mana stuck? You surveilled to the top. So was the top a mountain? Otter. Alright, we got enters tapped unless you have a basic. We got a basic. We go first. Stormchaser talent into Boomerang Basics. Or maybe into Pearl of Wisdom. I don't know. Boomerang Basics in the second Stormchaser talent seems pretty great. Make 2 Otters. Then we'll draw cards. Maybe even Elusive Otter. Do we want to bounce their thing? I want to mutation them, but I think we could wait a turn. They put out the dude, and they make a land. They put out another guy. It's the next turn that we want to hold up mana. They have a fight spell. Okay. That's not even a fight, just a bite. Okay. Draw a card. Attack in. We want to counter the Ouroboros. They could have another fight spell, which they might be able to cast. But what are you gonna do? If they're smart, they wouldn't put the Ouroboros out. And we just wasted our turn. So now we have to hold it up again. I guess they didn't have the land. And a fight spell. Scroll. And we only have one island. I think we need to get more guys out. Do we send the Otter? I mean, you might as well, right? Might as well. One drop for a one drop. He's pretty good. Maybe I needed to keep it around just in case. Oh, I think I could have put this Otter out. Yeah, I should have kept the other Otter out. Guess that was a mistake on my part. This is 3 mana to cycle. Can't do that. Okay. So you're just the landfall deck, maybe? And you haven't got any of your landfall cards? This waterbending's rule is looking like crap. They could have Innkeeper's Talent, I suppose. That would suck. That I wouldn't be able to counter. Just need some more, a little bit. I mean, we're doing fine on the pressure front, right? We want to do this into Otter, into Pearl, or let's just put this out, I think is fine. Then eventually we could tap it. It costs 4 to activate. I mean, maybe we're supposed to be holding up Repulsive Mutation? I don't know. They can cast an Ouroboros and we can't counter it. So maybe we're making mistakes. One, two, three, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks good. Still gonna hold up this counter spell. I mean, they haven't shown any way to make counters. At least this is a counter for 5. Okay. Yep. Now that makes 2 mana, so they have 6 mana available because they put out the Badger Mole Cub. But you ain't got enough. You don't have 5 though. Don't have 5 mana or a Boroid. Get out of here, Roids. You can't block me. I mean, we held it up for 15 turns. It worked out. I don't know if they were greedy, if they had it all this time. They were just waiting. I have no idea. Or they just drew it. They drew it off of the Terra Symbiosis of the forest, probably? I mean, next turn we're swinging in unblocked. We're going to draw 2 cards. We could even draw with this. We have 3 islands. So this costs 3. This costs 2. Otter. I go first. Take it. Stormchaser and the Boomerang Basics. Ooh, do we go Penguin? Man, maybe we Penguin. Do we Penguin? Ooh, Lilypad? They ain't blocking. And I ain't casting a spell. Put this penguin out. So they shelter by ghost, and then we bounce it back to their hand with the Boomerang Basics, right? The optimistic scavenger. Whenever enchantment enters, you get +1/+1. Oh, ethereal armor. Interesting. They went second. No locks. You gonna untap somehow? Ethereal armor though is kind of rough. Alright. Aerialist. 2/2. Has flying if it's modified. Ward 2. So you're gonna shelter by ghost that. Okay, we're gonna put out our Floodcaller. Then we're gonna attack in. Can we kill him here? That's the thing. Can we kill him? I don't know. That I'm not sure of. Are they dead? $14? I think they're dead. 16 damage on turn 4. What? I don't have the green mana? Oh, auto tapper. Those can only cast creature spells. -2. 5-0. Otter. Yeah. There's gotta be something better, right? Artifact. Draw card. Right? Each mana in this may tap an untapped creature. We're never doing that. Although it's similar. 2 mana to draw a card. Don't want to do that. The Mazemind Tome surveils. Draws cards. Don't want to do that. This draws cards after it hits people. We want to draw before we hit people. Draw 2 cards, -5. Nah. Ugin. Yeah, right. Marker back walker. 4 mana to draw. Discard and draw. It's technically better. Draw by eating a token. We're not eating our tokens. I don't know, man. We went 5-0. Pretty good. So I'm, what, 10-4, I think? On the rank ladder. Obviously, I wasn't playing this version the whole time. You know, cards that we didn't really see. That, you know, usually I like to cut them. The Waterbending Scroll seemed suspect. And I was suspect of it just because we're playing the Verges, so we're not playing all islands. And then just to have the Lilypad and the Agna Qel'a land in there. I think this isn't a Waterbending Scroll deck, is my thoughts. The mutation was okay with this mana base. And, you know, 2 mutations is pretty good because having to hold up the mana kind of sucks. We didn't get to see the Crash Wave happen. There is another card that we could add in too. That's pretty good. There's this one too. The Bloomburrow Escort is a pretty good bird creature. That's another flying flash, gives hexproof to something. Definitely would like, you know, like if we could do that. There's also these birds that draw and discard. It could be helpful. You know, they're also birds. They also get pumped up by the Floodcaller. They fly and they give you that recyclability. So maybe those are better than the Librarian? I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe they're better than the Hawk. But the Hawk is like a 3-power creature. This is only 1 power. There's only 1 power. I mean, I guess this draws you cards if you give them stuff that you own. I don't know if you necessarily want to do that. cast your second spell, we're not really double casting. What we're doing is drawing. So like the Sky Mage, I've always wanted to make that work. There's also this Bird Pirate, Vigilance Prowess. So we'll get double prowess. Be pretty good. But most likely it's the Mockingbird that we want. Because it can also copy opponent's creatures, and it's still a bird. It's a bird in addition to its other types, so I would say probably want to add that one in. Sokka? Should we just put a bird in for Sokka? That's a problem. Untap target artifact. I mean, the parrot looks like it'd be pretty sweet to try out. I think there's a number of flying creatures. Yeah, we'll just leave it as is. We'll just, make that one change for the waterbending scroll. Put in a Mockingbird. It could copy a Messenger Hawk, I suppose. Can't really copy Sokka, but it can copy a Floodcaller, which is pretty massive if you're doing that. Can't copy the Librarian either, but it could copy another penguin. So you could have a flying penguin. Yeah, this is my Otter domination deck, and it planned out. It did dominate. This has been Told. Like and subscribe. See you guys next time. Water. Earth. Fire. Air. Told.